Okay, welcome back to another episode with myself, Luke. So I hope you had a fantastic weekend. So we're going to jump straight into the Bitcoin technicals in just a second. We have a lot of things to get through today with the halving, with the Bitcoin dominance, altcoins, a bit of news, and the technicals we're going to start with in just a second. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like or a dislike, comments in the comment section below, etc, etc. So again, weekend, we found that we've just seen that we had a CME gap form because of that dump that we had over the weekend. It was quite everything happened just so fast over on Saturday. I know it was Friday night, I think, Friday into Saturday, and then yesterday we had a bit of I don't know if it's going to be a dead cat bounce and then we're just going to roll over. Last week I was talking about my gut feeling of Bitcoin having a collapse. So could this be the start of a collapse or a pullback back down into these Fibonacci levels of 37, 44 and 51. So those Fibonacci levels, just for your information, if you haven't been with me, I drew them a few weeks back. Based on the weekly or the all-time high and the lows of that $15,000 level. So for me personally, like I've been saying, just a gut feeling because of the halving, the huge event that's happening in the next 4 days, 9 hours, 54 minutes, and this happens every 4 years. We usually have a lot of volatility that goes on in Bitcoin. It's just one of those things where basically Bitcoin, in a nutshell, becomes more scarce and less of it. So of course the price of Bitcoin in the long run is going to go a lot higher. So 65k is relatively cheap, and that's because within the next few years we'll probably be at a $650,000 Bitcoin, and it's not so cheap anymore. So in my opinion, right now what we could see is this week, for some reason I just have this weird feeling that we're going to absolutely tank it down to these levels. So talking to some friends and they're just waiting for those lower levels. So if you're, what could you do right now? Do you buy? Do you sell? Do you hold on? The worst thing, this is not financial advice right now, is to panic sell and sell everything, because the halving is coming. After that we have 365 days of, if the cycles repeat, then 365 days of pure parabolic movement with Bitcoin, and then the altcoins follow it. It's as simple as that. So what is the point of panic selling? If you're new to crypto and you're doing that, just don't panic, okay? Continue to dollar cost average. That's probably one of the best things you could do. Again, it's not financial advice. You got to do what you got to do. Don't listen to, I'm just an idiot on YouTube. Many YouTubers out there, a lot of information on social media, on the web, etc, etc. Who do you follow? Follow yourself. You've got to do your own research, and one of the best things that you can do, and everybody says this, is DCA. And hopefully you've been DCAing all the way back last year. I mean, if we just use the weekly time frame, I mean, you should have been DCAing through the bear market, and it's difficult to DCA. I get that. I mean, we went all the way down to 15k. Some people are still waiting for $3,000 to $9,000. That's not going to happen with Bitcoin. What we could see right now is, because of that halving event, if you're trading, maybe be very careful. Maybe don't trade around this period. It's going to be very volatile. Maybe you like that type of thing, trading volatility, then fair enough. But something, I just feel that we're, like I've been saying, okay, we've had the technicals of this symmetrical triangle pattern, which was pointing to an 84k Bitcoin. I wanted to be objective, but again, if you've been following me, you have noticed that I've been speaking about this pullback. So these Fibonacci levels I drew a few weeks back now, maybe 10 days ago, and I just have this gut feeling because of the halving, we're going to either this week or next week, we're going to see some of these levels down here, and that means the Bitcoin dominance, which is very interesting. I'm going to show you the Bitcoin dominance in a moment, because the price target of the Bitcoin dominance that I spoke about 7 to 10 days ago was almost hit. So what does that mean for altcoins? It means altcoins obviously not going to outperform Bitcoin at this moment. having said that, I do believe very, very soon we're going to go into a huge altcoin season. When that is, no idea, but this year for sure, in my opinion, and especially if Bitcoin just keeps going from side to side, we could just see that. The fact is, we could just keep seeing Bitcoin just go from side to side for the next few weeks, and then we shoot up to new all-time highs into that six-figure dollar Bitcoin. So if that were to happen, if Bitcoin just keeps going from side to side over the next couple of weeks, like we've been seeing this now for a good few weeks, since February 28th really, then if we do that, we go past the halving and we just keep going side to side all the way into May and June, then altcoins are going to have a massive altcoin season. Or, like I've just said, we come back down to these levels, 51, 44, 37, which would be fantastic buying opportunities for you guys, for myself, at lower prices. So if you're not into Bitcoin at the moment and it does go back down to those levels, then if it were me and I had the money just to buy Bitcoin, then I would be jumping into those levels, dollar cost averaging into that 51, 44 and 37. I would not wait for 37. That's why I've drew these lines here. I'd start buying there, there and there. But again, not financial advice. You've got to do what you want to do, and I'm not a financial advisor. So personally, I do think we're going to see that sell-off this week or next week. Again, I could be wrong, and we just could keep going sideways, or we do go, I don't know, it will be a buy the rumor, sell the news, and we just shoot up to 80k or whatever. So looking over at the Bitcoin dominance, I don't know if you remember, if you've been following my videos, I did draw this head and shoulders pattern, and the target was 57%, and as you can see, that target, which I drew about 2 weeks ago now, I don't remember the day of the video, but I did mention, and I drew this pattern, that the Bitcoin dominance could go up to about 57%, and it's absolutely smack bang 57%, and obviously we've come back down to 55%. So this is not good for the altcoins. That was the worst case scenario that I mentioned a few videos ago, a few weeks back, and so that means that altcoins. Okay, today we're having a bit of a rebound, but for the week everything is down still 25-30%. For the month, okay, it's about between 30-40%. Some things are doing really well. I know that I have Medieval Empires, and my me token has been outperforming Bitcoin at this moment, and there's also some other altcoins that are outperforming the rest of the altcoins and Bitcoin at this moment in the short term. So it's an altcoin rally, but for the week, for the month, everything is down. For today, of course, it's Monday, it's a new week, and because of that dump we had, is this just a dead cat bounce in crypto? So what should you do? Well, that's up to you. But for me, over the weekend, when I saw this, we're down 30-40%, I dollar cost average into AI and gaming tokens. When I see a day or a week like this is what I've been talking about. You should be jumping in. Again, it's just my opinion. Jumping in for myself into some of these altcoins. Gala's down 31%. I spoke about Gala last week, and yeah, so you've got, I mean, it's like bargain prices. It's the sales in crypto. So dollar cost averaging is probably the best. It's the easiest and it's the most boring thing to do, but it's one of the best strategies you can take. This is something I did in the last run when we had pullbacks and dumps, and that's how I made a nice bit of money in crypto. Or you can just panic like everybody's doing and sell everything, and then regret it at the end of the year. I mean, you could do that if you want. So again, you got to do what you got to do. Don't just base your thoughts on everybody on YouTube, on me or whatever. But I'm sure when you go into a shop and you see 20% off, 30% off, you don't moan about it. You probably buy double or more of something. So yeah, just going back over today, so stuff like Core, Beam, Pendle, Ondo, yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, for me it's a dead cat bounce. I think we're going to go a lot lower this week. especially if we do see the price of Bitcoin come right down. But going back to that dominance, I mean, I can't believe how almost perfect it hit that target. So what we do need to see, if we want to see a really good altcoin rally, let's just go back to stay on the weekly. Let's just zoom out a little bit. There we go. What we need to see is something like this, where, okay, we've come all the way up here, and hopefully we come back down. We need to break below the 50% into the 40s. If we come into these areas here, then we're going to have a massive altcoin rally and probably an altcoin season, especially if Bitcoin, the dominance comes all the way down to the 40% range around here. That's if Bitcoin goes, you know, from side to side and is absolutely boring to buy, then expect the altcoins to outperform Bitcoin. So DCAing into altcoins when things are down is not a bad idea, but just be careful, don't get wrecked, don't put all your money into one coin, diversify. And I speak a lot about AI and gaming, because I think AI and gaming will be the narrative of this market cycle, especially when Bitcoin does go above that six-figure Bitcoin, above the $100,000, then gaming AI for me will be the narrative of this cycle. So a lot of really interesting things to look out for. It's going to be a really exciting year in my opinion, even if we do have a major dump, pull back to these levels. Again, go to these levels, start jumping into these positions into altcoins, because altcoins will, if we do go down to these levels, then altcoins are going to bleed out like 70-80%, and that would be the best time again to start dollar cost averaging. Well, dollar cost averaging, you should be doing it all the time anyway, even if we don't. That's the beauty of dollar cost averaging, because you might be waiting for those levels right down here, but if you DCA each week or each month, then who cares where the levels are, either here, lower or higher. You just keep DCAing and you just keep filling up your bags of altcoins. It's probably one of the best ways. But let me know in the comments below where you see the market going, what your strategy is. Hopefully you have a strategy. If you don't, you're going to get absolutely wrecked. You're going to see your portfolio go sky high and straight down to zero this cycle. So make sure you do have a strategy. So just jumping into the quick two pieces of news that I was reading. So altcoins ready to challenge Bitcoin dominance. So we've just spoken about that. Altcoin season is almost here. We've had altcoin rallies, but we haven't had a season. And like I just said, the dominance has to drop into the 40% range for a real altcoin season, in my opinion. Another piece of news, will Bitcoin pump after halving? My opinion, yes. We're going to have 365 days if history repeats. Obviously nothing repeats 100%, but it rhymes. And the last three cycles after the halving, we have a year of a parabolic move in a bull market. And you can argue the fact that we've probably been in the bull market now since the lows of $15,000. So yeah, as soon as we get past that blue line, then we could have a pullback just after, but going into late spring, summer, and the rest, we're going to go way above the $100,000 mark, I think. And yeah, as soon as we go past that $100,000 and we start coming up to 150, then that's when I will start DCAing out of position. So again, let me know what you think in the comments section below. I've just been rambling on about all sorts of things there, but overall, I mean, it's going to be a really exciting year. Let me know about the altcoins you're getting. I'm going to try and go into more gaming and AI coins this week as well, and next week. And yeah, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. So that's pretty much it for today. That's all I wanted to bring out in today's episode. I don't think I've got anything else to say. I don't want to bore you to death, and that's about it. So I'll see you next time with another video, hopefully tomorrow. Have a great end of Monday, wherever you are, whenever you are, and I will see you next time with another video. Bye bye.